have to create a digital image of what it's like to come into your office, because that's going to establish trust. When they see the x-ray machine, when they see that image online, I know they do x-rays. I know I can trust this doctor. I know this is going to be a place where they're going to take care of me and keep me safe. If you have this clean environment. So your logo, your image of your company, it all needs to represent what your clinic is about in order to portray the right message. You want to know why people come to your clinic and they don't come back? Well, that's because your branding was one way. They saw it in real life. It did not match.
Correct.
Your first experience, in the church world, we say the experience starts in the parking lot, right? So you have parking lot manager. Let me get the card. Let me take you up front. All this stuff. With chiropractic marketing, the experience starts on the internet. It starts as soon as they Google that, those images, the map, the phone number, everything, the descriptions, all of it have to be a great representation of what you do, because that will affect your conversion rate.
And that goes along with your messaging, correct?
Correct.
Not just your images.
Correct.
The messaging of having the right messaging out there, because that's what marketing is. Marketing is getting the right message to the right person at the right time with the right need. And that's why marketing's constantly changing, because people's needs are constantly changing.
Right.
But you got to have that messaging.
Branding
right.
does not change. Whatever it is. Mercedes logo's been the logo forever, and it's never going to change. That's the brand. That is what the brand is. A brand is like a mission statement. It's like a visual mission statement. And your messaging is a part of that as well. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Whatever your slogan is, all of that stuff, that's all part of what your brand is. Now, poor branding financially, right? So I have had a chiropractic client who put all of his money in branding, 100%. And I mean $40,000 on a truck that had his office name or clinic down the side of it. Doesn't have $1 for advertising. So guess what happened to that guy?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he can't stay open because he doesn't have a budget. And he did. He had $40,000.
Oh.
He had $40,000 that he spent on vinyl wrap for branding because he put it all on his image. You can't do that. That's a waste of money. And that's what I was saying when you were talking about not spending it or whatever. Wasting it is very dangerous because you can't get that back.
Correct.
You make 1,000 t-shirts with your chiropractic clinic on it, you can't get a refund on that. That's custom clothing, right? So you can drop it off at the Goodwill and see what happens. So branding, you got to be very, very careful, but you got to make sure it matches. If you're a web designer, your logo designer, your photographer, whatever, it's your responsibility to make sure that they're capturing and creating content that represents your brand. If they've got a logo, don't just pick a logo. Don't just, yep, those pictures look good. No, look at them. Are they good? Do they represent what you want people to see? So you have to have a little bit of control and a little bit of input on what you want your brand to look like.
And you help with that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, to be really honest with you, I haven't signed a single chiropractor where we didn't rebrand because their colors don't match. They don't go together. They don't represent what the company is. I'll go into the clinic and say, you don't look like this online. You're so much better than this. Look at what your website looks like. Look at what your logo looks like. And look at what your clinic looks like. It's an amazing place. And online, I have no idea what I'm about to walk into and expect. So I'm either disappointed or I just don't book. I just go with somebody I can trust. Mm-hmm. Because, again, it's late. I got a headache. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time picking. I want somebody who's got a lot of Google reviews that looks like a clean, healthy, safe place to go where it's going to treat me for a headache naturally. That's what I want. And if your branding and your imagery online does not portray that message and your messaging doesn't portray that message, I'm going to go to the next person.
So let's move. That's a good place. Assuming they get that, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. Aligned went through a rebrand. That was about the time that you got introduced to us,
yeah.
Right? And we went from the old, been around for 30 plus years, and then we came into that rebranding. But now the rebranding has gotten into our marketing streams, and that brand is getting recognized, right, with that quality of what we represent, of who we are and what we are. So the messaging's meeting it. But let's assume that you got the right brand and done.
Right.
Whether Daniel helped
Step
them,
one.
step one, it's checked off the list. Whether Daniel helped you with it, or you just got lucky, you got everything's ready. Everything, the pump has been primed. How are you going about? Because what I see, Daniel, and again, when you get into the digital world, like you said, I knew how my budgets are supposed to be run. That's called business 101.
Yeah.
Right. I know how to run businesses. And I know a lot about different types of marketing. I can take you back to the antiquated stuff. I can take you back to the days when the most lucrative sales job in the country was called a yellow page salesman. It's crazy. Back then, man, you had to pay for it because that was it. You and I both know, you and I have these conversations, there's such a difference between each social media. So in digital, not only is it changing constantly, each one of the funnels have a different functionality. In other words, like talk to everybody about having, it's one thing to have all this clickbait meta stuff, and clickbait, that's where you get this cookie cutter crap where they're going to guarantee you so many. Clickbait's not going to work time and time and time and time again, and it's not building a brand. It's that kind of stuff doesn't.
And in fact, it seems deceptive and it really breaks trust.
And Meta is more of a billboard. You and I talk about that. It's a billboard.
If Google is the new Yellow Pages, then social media is the new newspaper.